Hey, what is up guys? Gitarok here. Welcome back to another Brave 9 video. Today is all about the Evil Castle. Yes, we'll be doing the Evil Castle guide from 56 till 60th floor. Alright, so some of you guys have been asking me to do this. Now, I did do a full version of this. I did attempt this during my live stream yesterday. Alright, so I think it took me like about 2 hours or so to try to complete all 5 stages. Now, if you guys want to watch the full thing, you can head over right there. I'll leave the links in the description. Of course, the full 3-hour live stream also. Alright, but if you want a short answer or short version of each of the stage, you want to get past the discoverability and stuff, alright, so this is the video for you. Alright, so floor 56, I'm going to give you 2 different methods. Keep in mind, it's not going to be something that's easily achievable for beginners. Okay, so method number 1, you will need to do something like this. Alright, so before we proceed, I need to explain first who you need and why you need them, etc. Okay, this boss, don't kill the boss, alright? So at first I thought your objective is just to kill the boss. No, the boss needs to be alive. What this boss does is, this boss will deal insane amount of damage if the allies have DOT. Alright, so deals fixed additional damage based on the applied skill of the target. So notice, number of targets DOT skill type times enemies max HP times 1000 freaking % additional damage. So you want the boss to basically buff the allies. So if all of them get DOT, right? So the boss will be dealing damage to them. That is the goal right here. So the only thing that you want to focus on getting rid of is this archer dude, Dark Archers. There's 3 of them. Here, number 3, number 4, and number 6. So the idea here is to go with Lian, go in and get rid of number 3 and number 4, and then Christina, get rid of number 6, hopefully. And then the rest of them, hopefully they get DOT from hitting Diomeron. So you don't need a Diomeron at +9, +10, no. +0 will work just fine. Make sure you awaken him though, you need the taunt. Alright? So I'm going to show you this strat with Raphithia. And I'm going to show you guys a strat without Raphithia. Now this strat with Raphithia, Diomeron alone cannot survive the hits. Alright? He will die if there's no Raphithia buffing him. He needs some sort of healing. So therefore Raphithia is there. Alright, so you go in with Lian first, and Christina go in there later. Get rid of the archers. Alright, the rest of them will hit Diomeron, and hopefully when the boss buff them later on. So right now, the boss will be buffing everyone, and they all died. Alright, so in case you do not have a freaking Raphithia, alright, so I think Diomeron is pretty much a must. You can't use Acha. I tried using Acha for this stage. I can't figure out a way to do it at least. Because this stage you need the taunt from Diomeron. If you use Acha, some of them are going to hit Christina on top. And you need Christina to be top because you want her to hit this archer right here. So I can't figure out a way to use Acha for this one. Acha do not have taunt unless you bring 1 more unit. But then you won't be able to clear all the achievements. You can separate it out, I guess. So one more way of figuring out, one more way of doing this, thanks to the chat for helping me figure this out. You know, Lulu. Alright, so what you want to do, Lulu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you want Lulu to buff Veronia so that Diomeron has the healing, right? So when you use this strat, this is going to be harder for beginners. If you are new, this is going to be hard because now your Christina needs to have OP runes, alright? So when I first used 2 Assault, this method could not work. Christina is not getting any buff right here, if you notice. So Lian is getting buff from Veronia. So Christina, I gave her 1 Fatal and 1 Rage. Alright, hopefully that will make sure that she crit DOT this guy right there. So a bit of RNG, make sure you do it until you succeed. And the hard part is getting the proper Christina runes. Other than that, 1 buff for Lian from Veronia is going to be enough. Okay, let's see if this Christina is enough. Alright, that was enough. Okay, so same strategy, no Raphithia. So that's how you do 56. Alright, you can achieve all the achievements whatsoever, get your honor points. Alright, so hopefully you guys are able to do it. So let's move on to 57. Okay, so this one is a bit different. You need Viola, you need Rydell. Alright, so it's kind of tough as well. I can see this not being easy. Without Raphithia, it's kind of hard. You want Raphithia and 1 more supporter. If you have Michaela, would be nice. If not, Isabel can work. Go in with Rydell first, and then go in with Viola later. So hopefully the DOT can get rid of that archers. Alright, you want to get rid of the archers, the rest of them will hit Diomeron. And if you have a Diomeron at +0, as long as you have this skill to reflect DOT based upon the enemies, when they have DOT, when the boss buffs them later on, they will die instantly. So that's the entire strategy. This one is going to be hard with Lulu, unless you have good runes on your Rydell and your Viola. It's going to be pretty much near impossible, because here's the thing, if you don't have good runes on them, you can't get rid of the archers fast enough, and you might struggle on the turns part, right? And then the boss, zoom. Alright, just enough. You can see we have just enough. One more turn, we could have failed on the turn amount of count, right? So that's the thing. If you use Lulu, I have no idea how you're gonna do it, because Raphithia and Isabelle barely could do it, you know? If let's say if you don't have Raffi, you can try Michaela solo buffing Rydell and Viola, but you're gonna need an OP rune, and you're gonna need to try a couple of times. I couldn't do this. I don't have such a good rune yet, but yeah, I feel like you need 2 attack supporters, alright? But that's the problem. If you do not use Raffi, if you use attack supporter, let's say you use Serendia and Isabelle, then your Diomeron is gonna die, right? Because Diomeron still needs that counter heal and stuff. So that's something that you have to consider, which is why Raphithia is still really solid in most cases. Okay, so next one, Flaw 58. This one is a bit tricky. I couldn't do this all in one go. I have to split it up to 2 different tries. So try number 1, I use this method basically. Make sure you need Acha, alright, for bottom lane, and I'll show you guys why later on. So Diomeron top again, just to have the reflective counter against the top units. So you want to go in first with Christina, taking care of the first archer right here. Alright, so that archer dies. So now those guys at the back, you want to hit them with Viola. Alright, hopefully they will die. The archers at the back will die. Alright, so now hopefully everyone hits both Diomeron and Acha. Alright, like notice the turn is not enough. The turn is not enough. And KO, we have 2 KO. Because Viola got the burn from DOT, right? So one more method that you could try instead of using Viola is you use Lian right here. Alright, so you go for warrior, we go for Lian right here. Now with Lian, now you cannot use Isabelle. You have to use something like a Michaela, because Isabelle's buff range will not be in the range. Alright, so something like this. So now Lian will get rid of that 2 archers at the bottom. So there's one last one. We will take care of him via the Acha method still. Alright, so Christina going in, take care of the first archer, and then Lian going in, and then everybody hits Acha, it's okay. But now we have Pawn. Okay, Acha died, no problem. Okay, at least we will get the turns for this one. The KO though, let's see. The KO part is a bit tricky. How do you get rid of the KO part? So this is how you complete it in the amount of turns. Alright, you use Lian. Okay, so I guess you really need Michaela, because what happened is when in the first try I tried with Isabelle, so Viola ended up dying. So that's because when she hits this archer at the back, this guy has reflective burn. So with Michaela, now you have DOT immunity. So I guess you sort of need that DOT immunity. Can't think of any other unit that has that's going to benefit her. But I think this is going to be a much better strat. So you should be getting everything, including the KO one, except for the turns, alright? But for the turns, if you want to achieve it, use the Lian method that I showed earlier. So you sort of have to do it in 2 separate tasks. I can't figure out how to do it in one task, like in one run. If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments, alright? So yeah, this should complete the KO part for you. And the turns part, you try to achieve it via the Lian method. So you don't have to achieve it all at one go. You can do 2 separate runs for this one. I'm still figuring out how to do it in one single run, so maybe in the future, if I figure it out, I'll do an update video. Okay, so next up, Flaw 59. This one is a little bit tricky, and this one might be actually harder for beginners, because now you cannot bring in that many units. You have to bring in only 5 units, so you can't bring in that much supporters. So we're gonna use a bit different method right here. Notice this guy is number 5, so that's kind of an interesting way of dealing with him. He's no longer moving first, the boss is moving like in the middle. So the tactic is going to be a bit different. I sort of figured it out during the stream. Wait. Something is not right. Oh yeah, Diomeron has to be bottom. I think we go with Acha first. Acha. Wait, not Acha. Ayan. Ayan or Davidson. Yeah, I think this is a much better method because this guy goes first, right? Wait, one goes first, so you want to block bottom first. Makes sense. So bottom is blocked. Top, Ayan go in later. So Ayan applies a DOT. Doesn't matter if Ayan or Davidson dies. Viola hits the back. BDMN go in and hit everyone. Now everybody has DOT. Now the boss, kablam, easy. Alright, get it all in one freaking try. I think I have 2 units died, but it's okay. Alright, so this is how I do it. Maybe there's much better methods, and if you guys have your own methods you want to share, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Alright, so let's move on to the last level, which is floor 60. Okay, this level is a bit different. Alright, notice the boss is now different. It's upgraded, super hyper strong, and he has a very unique skill. He gives freaking Death Guard. Where is it? Freaking Death Guard, man. 24 times Death Guard. That is insane. Alright, so what you want to do with the boss is you want to make sure the boss, he gets this thing, which is a stigma on his own, when allies grave is created. So once you kill one of his allies, he will have this stigma on himself. So it's like a charm, so he will instead buff you instead later on. So you will get the Death Guard later on. I know it's a bit confusing and I try not to explain too much. Maybe I show it to you guys will be better. But the entire strat right here, this boss is different. So you have to notice the requirements are also different. Alright, number 1, the requirements does not specify number of turns. So you can take as long as you want. Alright, you can take 60 turns. I think I literally took up to round 10 for this one. You can deploy more units this time, 3 more units. 5 KO, no Magician. Alright, so what you need to do is a bit different. So we're gonna grab a couple of units. No Diomeron needed at this stage. No Diomeron. No. Alright, you need a Dalvi plus 12 for this one, unfortunately. Alice plus 12. You need her charm to help you with stuff. You need Benshina. Alright. Benshina needs to be plus 14. Or if you don't have Benshina, Gran will work just fine. Either Benshina or Gran. Okay, so turn order as follows. Rafitia to Christina. Christina going in. And then BDMN. And then Dr. Morgan. So what you will do is you will perform this co-op, this 3 combo co-op. We'll try to remove the Death Guard 24 turns on them because the boss will give them that. Very annoying. Alright, you want to hit them as much as you can. So now after that, you will slowly be tanking with your Dalvi and Benshina. The timing makes it just right for Dalvi to always receive hits when she's in Fox form, and Benshina will always be able to tank the hits, hopefully, if you have a plus 13 or 14. I noticed at some stage, she's going to receive too much damage. If you have a lower skilled Benshina, you might struggle because she won't be able to out-heal the damage. Dalvi needs plus 12 for sure, or else plus 10 and below. Below plus 12, her Fox form will run out faster. So let me show you to you guys. Rafitia and Rydell needs to be there. They are there to tank a hit as well. And you want them to die, which I'm going to explain along the way. Now the battle is going to be pretty freaking long, so I'm going to fast forward it a little bit later. So the goal here, Dalvi take hits, Rafitia buff, Christina going in. Alright, it's not going to make sense if you don't understand the skills, but it will once you see the completion, the full complete thing, right? Alright, so now everybody will hit Dalvi and Benshina. Okay, notice the enemies now still have 12 turns Death Guard. Rafitia die, it's okay.